Pardon me. Okay, first thing on the agenda, we need a motion to approve last month's meeting. Supervisor Wood, second. Supervisor Sokol, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Carried. With that, Chris, we'll turn it over to you.
Great, thank you. Good morning. I have 3 items that require action this morning. The first one is a request to amend the county budget to add Trade Adjustment Act funding. There were 4 students that were recently awarded funds, and as you know, we just passed this through. Their jobs were eliminated because of this one.
All right, would someone like to make that motion? Supervisor D'Angelo, seconded by Supervisor Wood. Any discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Carried.
This is, I think, the 3rd meeting in a row where I had a member for to consideration for the new Workforce Development Board. This is the last seat that we have. We have traditionally had someone from the hospital as a member on the board. The board, one of the requirements is to have some of the major employers, and the hospital, of course, is the largest employer in Warren County. And Kyle Brock, who's vice president at the hospital and in charge of human resources, has been nominated, and his name is for your consideration.
All right, someone like to make that motion? Supervisor Wood, seconded by Supervisor D'Angelo. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
And then the last one is for our our fiscal manager to attend a workshop. Next week is the fall conference for the New York State Association of Training and Employment Professionals. Sharon and I will be there Monday through Wednesday. Wednesday they're offering what's called Smart Financial Grants Management, and it's actually after the conference in Syracuse at the Central New York Works Career Center. And so the only cost is the travel expenses associated with that.
All right, someone like to make that motion? Supervisor D'Angelo, second. Supervisor Sokol, any discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Carried.
We had no referral or pending items, but we thought while we were here that we would give you an update, a report on the summer program.
Oh, that would be great.
Yeah.
I like hearing about that. I just think it's a wonderful program.
I like it when people like hearing it.
Yeah.
Well, the very first page after the cover are our numbers, you know, and at the very bottom again, and I bring this, you know, to everyone's attention how much fewer youth we get to serve as the funds dwindle, and and one of the highlights I think this year was 94% of the young people finished the program, and that's pretty significant. Usually it's in the around 85%, so that was pretty significant. We had a good summer. It's always a good summer when we don't have any accident reports, and we have very few young people who are acting out at the work site. So we had a really nice summer, and it went well with our new counselor. So I was really happy about that. On the next page, our list of the work sites that we had for 2015. Then I included the article from the Post-Star about the summer lunch program, which is in its 22nd year. It's under Chef Matt Young now, who's done an excellent job. He filled the shoes with Charlie Jones quite well. The following page, we do at the end of our orientation, we ask the young people to evaluate the program, and we don't ask them their names so that they can be really honest. So these are just some excerpts from the work readiness class that we did at the beginning, and some of the things that they liked, and some of the things like they liked tips for the first day on the job. What did the job teach you? Don't have 20 kids, is what one young person said. I can see myself running this whole building in the future, was what another young person said. And one of the least favorite parts of the job is getting up early. So those are just some of the things that they took from the work readiness. The next one pictures blast off, and this is pretty dangerous when you put rockets in the hands of these young people, but STEM camp was held in Wilton this year, and we had 3 young people attend, and they built the rockets and then shot them off, which was pretty cool. They enjoyed that. The next is a photo collage of the summer program. Basically, some pictures of the young people working, of the picnic itself, of STEM camp, and of the work readiness classes. And then the last article from the Post-Star, when Kate Hogan was kind enough to be our guest speaker, and she did a great job talking to young people. And what was really nice is she got them involved before the picnic. She didn't really know any of them, and she went into the crowd and she talked to them, and then she brought them up with her when she spoke, and she remembered their names and what they wanted to do. And I'm always amazed at Kate anyway, but it was great, and there was a great message also from her. And then the last is a letter we got from the World Awareness Children's Museum thanking us for the young people this summer and telling us what a help they had been. So, you know, again, we hope that next year in the budget we have TANF funds to do this, because the majority of the program is funded by TANF and not WIA, as you can see in that chart. Only 3 young people were WIA this year. Now we're doing WIOA. So, but hopefully we'll continue to get TANF funds and be able to support the summer youth employees.
Great.
So if anybody has any questions, yes?
Ron?
Charlie Jones retired.
No, he's still working. He's also the Iceman. He
Yeah, I
does
know.
Yeah, so he did that full-time this summer.
Okay,
And,
yeah. I saw him in Tractor Supply a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
I didn't really talk about it.
Fortunately, for the culinary students of BOCES, he is not retired.
Well, I'd just like to say, I just think it's a wonderful program. It's just so nice to go to the picnic and watch the kids' reaction as they come up to get a trophy or a certificate, and you can tell that they've had a wonderful time during the summer. So I want to thank you both for the hard work that you do with that program. Anyone else at the table has anything they need to bring up?
Well, I did have some,
okay, Chris,
our
I'm sorry.
regular program numbers on the
Oh,
last
okay,
page
good.
of the handout.
Mhm.
You know, I try to remember to present this every year. I can't sit here and say that I remember to, but we get judged on 9 different measurements every year. These are national accomplishments that we're required to meet. And you see that chart at the top. There's 3 measures for each of our 3 categories: adult, dislocated worker, and youth. And I review the goals and the achievements, and then, you know, the percent of goal. We get these reports every year back from the state. They tend to come about 2 or 3 months after the end of the month report. But this is for the program year, which started July 1st of 2000. I'm sorry, I put the wrong date down. It started July 1st, 2014, and ended June 30th, 2000. The year that we just finished. And as you see, we were able to meet or exceed all of our goals. When the goal is set, you're required to meet 80% of it. If you don't meet 80% of it, then you're subject to penalties. And if you don't meet a measurement 2 years in a row, then you can lose some funding. If you meet your goals, then you're eligible for bonus funds that are taken from the other regions that don't meet their accomplishments. There wasn't any bonus money this year, but there has been for most of the past years. The only goal where we didn't there were actually 2 average earnings. The state average earnings is a little over 19,000, and we negotiated that down to 18, basically because we said we shouldn't be compared with New York City or the other larger areas where wages are higher. And quite frankly, I was surprised that we were able to get as high a number as we did. So meeting 99% of our goal, we felt was really good. And then the other one is for youth on literacy and numeracy, where we were at 88%. That's another difficult one. That's for our out-of-school youth, so it's not necessarily the kids that are in the summer program. I often say that this is probably the most scrutinized program that I've ever worked with in my 30-plus years in public administration. So there's just tons and tons of numbers and information. I try to give you a quick snapshot. You know, if you have questions, comments, if there's some other numbers you'd like to see. One of the things I thought would be helpful is the training dollars that we spent last year. We trained 100 customers. for a total investment of about $306,885. The total federal investment from our program was $226. The rest being Pell Grants or TAP grants or student loans or the customer contribution. What's really most interesting is to see where those funds went. About half of it went to BOCES, about a third of it went to SUNY Adirondack, and then the balance went to a variety of other education providers, including Hudson Valley, some of the private trainers. And then finally, I gave you some customer numbers by year. One of the things that we're really seeing this year is a decline in the traffic in our office, and it's because the economy's finally turned around. So even though it looks like the numbers are down considerably, they're now what would be considered more normal. The recession really brought a lot of traffic into our office, as you see from the total numbers. We're down almost a third from prior years during the recession. But again, it's just a snapshot. If you have questions, something that you'd like to see at the next meeting, or even information you'd like me to send you.
Share.
I would like to say the literacy and numeracy numbers, Warren County exceeded their goal. We're measured as a 3-county area, and we exceeded all our youth goals. There are some other counties that did not do as well, which kind of brought 2 of the other counties down, so.
I meant to point that out.
Very good. Ron?
Next meeting, could you give us an update on how the task is going?
Sure.
As far as how many customers you get in, how many
Numbers
complete
and
the
graduate.
program, and how many graduate?
Sure.
Did you want that for adults as well as youth? It could be,
Yeah, I'd
we
just
do,
like to
we
see it
do
in
sponsor
general.
adults as well as youth.
Yeah.
Because I know I was concerned there would be a drop-off in passing rates and stuff, but maybe there isn't, so I'd like to get some data behind that.
It might be difficult to measure because there are not as many exams given at this point.
That was the one thing we saw the
So,
first
yeah,
year.
There was,
Yeah.
exactly.
So they,
We give you the
But
answer.
definitely, I can also, I could even have Krista Conrick come if you would like her to from BOCES to talk a little bit about that.
maybe, they used to give 1 month in Queensbury, the next month in Saratoga, and alternate back and forth, they don't.
No, it's like, we had one this year, since our fiscal year started.
Right.
2 in our area this all of 2015, and the next one's in December, and then not again until next year, so that's but we have had some young people who've passed it, so that's a good thing.
Would be good. Anyone else have anything else they'd like to bring up? All right, we'll entertain a motion to adjourn this meeting. Supervisor Woods, Supervisor Vansall, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Carried. Thank you, Chris and Sharon.
Thank you.
Have a
Yeah,
nice
you're welcome.
weekend.
Yeah, you too.
Thank you.
Edna.